This is Xfinity. But being able to relate to music is important to me as far as listening to music. And sometimes you just want to have a party song, and that's cool. But I think that there's not, I haven't, like listening to the radio, I haven't heard very many songs like that as far as, I'm trying to think, my brain's trying, I'm trying to talk and trying to think at the same time, and they can't do the same, they can't do it. Who was it? LL Cool J had done some music where it was, you know, appreciating women. There's been some other artists over the years that have made songs rappers making songs appreciating the women. But now it's like everything is party, 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 party. Yeah. That's what's happening right now. Party, 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 party.
Living for the moment. That's what it's about, man.
Well, for me, that moment is over there. I can't party, 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 party like that anymore. You know, even my kids, they'll listen. My son's more than my daughter listens to that, you know, that or whatever. My grandson listens to Peso the Mafia.
Okay.
He's 3. And he knows how to find them on YouTube.
Okay.
But you know, every once in a while, a song where it's party party is cool, but all the time is just ridiculous. Like I said, I don't think that I really haven't heard any music out that's been kind of like appreciate. You know, you are appreciated, Tupac.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You had to bring a little something different.
Right.
Something different to the team.
And that's and that kind of ties in, like I said, to the whole J. Cole thing. You know, J. Cole dropped KOD, and the title is an acronym for many different things. Whatever you want it to be, basically, is what he was saying. I got the message. The messages.
Yeah.
Multiple messages. People were online talking about, oh, it's so depressing, I can't listen to it. And I'm like, I have a major depressive disorder. And I was smiling through this album because I was so happy that he was talking about the things that he was talking about, that he was touching on so many different things, and he was putting out there that his opinions basically on his music. And you know, it was so depressing. The beats were slow, and I seen a lot of other people talking about how, oh, he doesn't have one feel-good song on there. That's not what this album is about.
Yeah, it's really not.
It's called a concept album. Do you have any projects that you have done, like you have albums and all out?
Yeah.
Were they not concept? Did you not have some kind of concept?
It's always a concept with me. Even every verse I write is a concept with me.
Right.
That's the only way I write.
Right. So, and you can tell that because the topic of this song was about females. And you stuck to that verse and hook. How many times have you heard music and the title of the song doesn't match the verse and the title don't match the hook, and you're like, and you're confused because as an artist you pick up on that, I'm sure, when you hear other people's music. So with people saying that, oh, there's no feel-good music on here, I wasn't expecting it to have feel-good music at all. That's like the For Your Eyes Only. People didn't like that either. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved that.
Because it was a concept. He told a story the whole way through.
Yep.
So I'm not understanding. And there was a lot of artists, there was a lot of rappers that were saying they didn't like the project because of A, B, and C.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, you would think that would be some music somebody would praise and stuff like that. That's being creative, just being different. I mean, painting pictures.
And to me,
that's
what
with that?
as somebody who uses words to you're painting that picture. I've always said that if I'm listening to your song and I can close my eyes and I can play that video in my head, if I can make a video out of your song in my head, it's a good song because you have portrayed your words and your lyrics have painted that picture.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've done that with songs before, and then they've made a video. I'm like, what? The video doesn't match the song at all. But yeah, I just lost my whole train of thought right then. But you know, I mean, I'm sure. Like, do you listen to other artists' music, other local artists' music?
Oh yeah, I listen to everybody's stuff.
You know,
if they send me, like, I have a title subscription, so if they got title links, I'm always checking them out.
Because I've heard other artists in conversations be like, oh, I don't listen to my own stuff. And that's creepy to me because I can't watch me in videos. I can't, you know, that's just, I don't like seeing me in pictures. Like, I'm my own worst critic. And for people to say, oh, I only listen to my own stuff, and I'm like, it's very narcissistic of you.
Yeah, I actually listen more to everybody else's stuff than my own stuff, actually.
I mean, because you've heard your stuff because you recorded it.
Right. And I don't want to get, you know, bored with it, then that's how it turns into pushback album dates and stuff, because I'm going to listen to it.
You'd be like, I'm not really feeling that now.
I could do something else.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm listening to everybody else more than I listen to myself for real.
Yeah, like I always wondered, because I mean, I've heard more than a couple artists say that they don't listen to other local artists, and I'm like, is that because you don't want to end up sounding like them, or is it because, you know, I'm confused at why you wouldn't want to know what's out there, what's going on out there, because you're listening to industry artists.
Which is the same thing.
Basically, it is. It's just that they get paid more money than the local artists.
Yep, that's the only difference.
And now with being able to put your stuff, because you said about the music being on Tidal, being on, you know, Spotify. I actually, thanks to Street Scott for putting that project out, I went and got Google Play.
Okay.
And that's what I've been, because usually I just download everything. But this phone doesn't have an SD chip in it.
Right.
So my phone, every time I turn around, I take a picture, be like, your storage is running low. But I don't want to delete anything off of here because I have a lot of good music, and I'm still not quite proficient at Google Play because the way they got stuff set up. So, you know, I'm still stuck. And I have a lot of music on here on my phone that is nowhere else. Sometimes the artists don't even have the music; they've lost it, or you know, I don't have it. I don't have a CD anymore. I don't have those files anymore, and I'm like,
I know them days. I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. Blue screen and deaf and all that.
Oh God, that blue screen! I got a blue screen computer right now. You know what I did? Went and bought a new computer because I was not going to lose anything, because I figured what I could do is I get a new computer, and then I can probably get somebody to use it. We can do a slave drive kind of thing, and then I can get everything off of there. I learned my lesson years ago. I've got so many hard drives from my desk, from my towers, that from where they went blue screen, slave drives, and got my stuff off of there without losing, because I've lost my pictures from the beginning of time, from the beginning of 2008, all the way up until one of my external hard drives, actually the connector broke, so I got to get that fixed so I can access that hard drive, because it's full of photos. And then I got my new hard drive, which is now full, so now I have to get another hard drive, because while I back up, what I do is I have the originals pictures, and then I have the pictures like when I edit them, and then I have a folder where they're watermarked. So I have the same picture 3 different times. But that's because somebody buys their pictures without the watermark. And there they go.
Yep, it's already there.
You know, so, you know, I need to buy a new hard drive, which is something that I should have done instead of doing my DNA, getting my DNA and my ancestry DNA thing sent to me, because I want to know where I come from.
Right. Yeah.
I already got an idea.
Okay.
I got a few ideas
Okay.
where I come from.
I'm still trying to. I need to do one day.
I think it would be phenomenal to find out. I actually was watching Maury Povich yesterday, and they do it after, like at the end of the show or whatever. They have somebody from their audience or somebody of their staff, and the girl actually said that if she found out that she had any European in her, she wouldn't know how to act. She would. I wouldn't know how to. I don't know how to feel. She was 4% European. I was like, see, that's what you get for talking crazy.
Right. How do you feel?
4% from 100. This much. It's not going to affect you all that much. She was upset. She was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I'm like, really? She's like, I think that I am 100% African American. Or African. And I was like, no, you're not. I thought she was going to have some Asian in her because of the way her eyes and all. But yeah, I think it's going. I can't wait to do mine now. So, yeah. What place over there doing?
Drinking. Drinking and promoting. Man, I'm drinking and promoting.
So,
drinking and promoting. That's it.
Oh, I didn't put my light on. I'm lazy. So, how did you meet Blizz as far as, because I mean, you guys are working heavily together, because you do have like this little like group now, because you sent me an exclusive song that we're going to play tonight.
Yeah.
so how did that all come about?
Okay.
I was back in the beginning, and we probably bumped his back then, but really bumped his when he was doing 1986.
Yeah.
All in Who You Know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, we did about four tracks on there.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Yeah. Nintendo.
Oh, you were the one behind the beat for Nintendo?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nintendo.
I got to shout out to my son too to find out some information. Rello, I got to talk to him about some space.
Yep. So I mean, ever since then, we just been doing music together because we got similar style. We different, but we kind of touch on the same stuff. So
right.
It's just.
Well, see, you're like how Blizz. When I first met Blizz, quiet, shy, wasn't real talkative. That's Blizz is not like that now.
Right.
He got real comfortable in his
real comfortable
in his skin, real comfortable in everything, and he come out of his shell. Because I remember, he'd be at the spot, you wouldn't even know he was there.
Yeah, I just caught the show by myself.
Yeah, that's me now.
Right. So, it's kind of like a perfect match as far, and like, even like you said with the music, it's, I've heard music where I've heard people like do collabs with people, and I'd be like, ooh, they just don't, that doesn't fit right at all,
Yeah, it's crazy, because like almost whatever he emailed to me, I just like automatically just like I'm comfortable with it and I go in on it. And then like at the studio, it's like crazy. Like any other studio, I'm comfortable in, but down his spot is like he can just put a beat on it and I just start writing out of nowhere.
That's what's up though.
Yeah.
That's I mean, and that's the way it should be. I think I always say that good music comes from when you're in a good space.
Right.
And you don't have to push,
Right.
Don't force. I tell people all the time, don't force lyrics.
Yeah,
don't force it. Because it's gonna come out that way. People will be like, you didn't want to do that song, did you? No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, I got one of those songs.
So do you have a song that you just don't like and everybody else loves? Because everybody has one of those songs, it seems like.
Oh yeah, I did a video for it and everything. How we doing?
How we doing? What's that though?
See?
Let me show you how we do it. How we do it.
My friend just called me today down DC. He just called me today. It was like, I just had to tell you, I was just listening to that song. He from DC, but his favorite line is when I say, talk about the chicken box, something about salt, pepper, ketchup, hot sauce.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that song.
I love that song, man.
Yeah, I guess it's just because of performing it a lot.
Right.
That's probably what made me not like the song. I'm not saying it wasn't a good song or nothing like that. I just, when I hear it now, I kind of just pass it.
Yeah.
That's all. It's like the hot single on anybody's CD. You just kind of
right.
Yeah, because it's a lot of artists have said that. A lot of artists say that there's the song, and like it's an awesome song, and they be like, I hate that song.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever perform that song again.
Mine was special to me. I love that song. I love that song, but then I hate it because it's like I can't. It's only works when Brooke Love is like dead performing, but. I love that song though, but then I hate it.
Right.
But I performed it so many times. Like
well, also,
every show, Jay was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta perform that. You gotta perform that."
That's how it was with How We Do It. You
gotta perform that song.
I don't want to.
like, can't the DJ just play it after I get done my set?
Right.
God. Yeah. I don't want to perform it no more. But there's a lot of artists that their like everybody's favorite song, and they're like, I'm just tired of this damn song. Like, but it's a good song.
Yeah.
You know, like Special to Me is a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
It really is. I like that song.
Shouts out to Lee Rice on the production on that. Rhythm.
But I mean, it's and also like with you writing like I know with me on Facebook when they come up with the memories, and I'll see some shit that I wrote 2-3 years ago, and I'll be like, I could have done without that today.
Mm-hmm.
With music, when you put yourself into music and you write about a situation, and then when you hear that, every time you hear that song, it takes you back, because music is life for me. Right. Music controls how I feel, everything. You can tell how I'm feeling by what music I used to post, because I don't post too much music anymore. But when I would post up music, you could tell kind of like what kind of mood I was in, if I was, you know, the feeling of love, or if I was hurting, or if I was depressed, or if I really wanted just to punch somebody in the damn throat. Like, you could tell by the music that I posted.
Right.
So as an artist, when you put your feelings into a song, and well, not so more for you because you're married, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I've done it.
Yeah. So when you write a song about some, like when you know, like whoever you're dating at the time or whatever, and then you're no longer with them, and then the song pops up, you know, and then you're like, really?
Right.
I don't want to hear this shit ever again, because it takes you back to that time.
Yeah.
And you know, how do you, like, have you had to deal with that before? I mean, or not so much?
I lost all of those songs.
Oh, well, then that was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Bliss can't say that, I'm sure.
Heartbreak Hotel. That's all I'm gonna say.
It might be one song out there, something on one of them old mixtapes I got, but yeah, a lot of that stuff I can't find it no more. It was old school stuff, but I used to do that a lot.
Well, I mean, it's easier. Like, I've been writing a book for years, and it's just like I've got what I want to write about, and everything, got characters and this, that, and third, and I had started writing, but then I kind of get almost like writer's block. It's not really writer's block. It's just I'm trying to transition into being able to know how to write. It's one thing I know how to write. I can write stuff all day long, but trying to write the characters and how they talk and because I'm a person of detail, you know, my friend tells me all the time, I didn't ask you for that information. But I'm giving you the information so you don't have to ask me, is my thing. I don't want to be asked. I don't, like, especially if we're texting and you ask me a question, I'm going to give you all the details right then and there, because I don't want to say this and then you ask me a question and I have to answer that. I'm not going for all that back and forth. No, you know, how was your day? My day sucked. I had to do this. I did that, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to punch somebody in the damn throat, da, 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 da. I didn't ask you for all that information. I don't care. I gave it to you.
There you go.
You have it. Because I'm that type of person. Like, I give too much information, but I feel like if I don't give that information, then somebody is not going to understand. Like, they're going to miss something. It's just how I've been. So with me writing this book that I've been trying to write for years, it's based on my experiences. You know what I mean? So of course, if somebody knows that if they read this book, they're going to see, and they know I wrote it, they're going to be able to see some kind of correlation. So when you all write music, the best kind of music that you can write is what you're experiencing, what you're going through, what you know. You can write a song about experience that Blizz had because you're there and you're experiencing it with him or whatever. It's easier. But for you to just like go out here and write a song as if you're the corner boy down at Lexington Market, you know, it's going to be kind of a challenge for you because you're not that corner boy down on Lexington Market.
Right. Yep.
That's why when people write songs and I look at them and I'll be like, I don't believe you. Because you can almost hear that it's not real.
Yep.
I like real.
Gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it authentic.
Yeah, and see, and that's why I said before, I don't know when it became cool. You know, I think when Congress and who was that talked about rap music and Uncle Luke and everything? Was that Tippy Gore?
Yeah,
was that Gore's wife? I think it was Gore's wife who, this music is just this, that, and the third. And a lot of people were saying, you know, even Tupac said it's just rap. You know, it's just rap. It's just rap. But at the time, NWA was making music. It was giving everybody an insight on what was going on in Compton, California.
It was telling the news that they wasn't telling.
Right. So it wasn't just rap. It was facts. And then somewhere along the line, it became to where it was okay to say this, but it's not true. Look at Young Moose, who the police took his rap lyrics, and they raided his house. I mean, it wasn't just based on rap lyrics, but it was based on a lot. But they say, look, he's saying this in his rhymes, and you're trying to say that these are just rhymes. But when we went into his house, we found all of this. So it's right back to being able to say, you know, so it's almost like those people who say rap has to evolve. And that's cool. Rap has to evolve. But then when Eminem does something totally different than what they're used to, oh, this album sucks. But you just said that rap has to evolve. Oh, you meant that Eminem didn't have to evolve. Jay-Z, same thing. People, rap has to evolve. It has to grow. It has to do this. Jay-Z came out with 444. And they didn't like what he had to say on there because they wanted the old Jay. And Jay said, that's not me anymore. I'm talking about you need to do some banking, and you need to invest in your future, and you know, some grown man shit. Oh, this album sucks, but you just said rap has to evolve. Oh, you just mean it has to evolve to mumble rap into Xanax and perks and everything else. Oh, okay. You should have said that. Another reason why people need to say things more clearly.
Yeah, you can't satisfy nobody nowadays.
So what did you? I'm sure you listened to Jay-Z's album and Eminem's album. I didn't listen to Eminem's album.
I didn't listen to Eminem.
No, I ain't listening to Eminem.
I love M. I didn't like. I have to listen to my music in my car because I have no stereo in my house. I have my surround sound speakers ended up in my daughter's room.
No. Took over.
Yeah. She used them to clean because they were plugged into my TV at one time, but I used to plug my phone up and that's how I would play music. Yeah. She used them to clean her room one day and I've never seen them again. Never came back. They were just sitting in the living room. Nobody even goes in the living room. But so, do you how do you feel about the rappers, the artists, such as Jay-Z and Eminem that have quote unquote evolved? Because I think that's exactly what they did. They're not making that same music that they were. They've because Jay-Z, he's a married man with 3 kids.
Right. So
his wife put his ass out there on Front Street by saying, "Hey, he cheated on me." Mm-hmm. My sister beat his ass up in the elevator. Right. And how do you feel about him? Like,
I think it was a dope project. It showed once again it was him being genuine. Mm-hmm. Because he was talking about the situations he was going through at that time. Even the whole working with bankers, doing the banking and saving stuff because he was making power moves and stuff like that in the background with major players. So, I mean, it was a little different from what the norm was, but at the end of the day, he was still being genuine. So it was still a typical Jay-Z album.
Right.
He was being genuine. I liked it. I didn't like the mix of it, but it was cool.
See, that's an artist. That's from an artist ear. That's an artist ear.
But from what he said, that he wanted it like that. So it wasn't like somebody. Because I know Guru doesn't go in there and mix some stuff like that unless you ask him to do that. So
right.
When you hear the story of him saying he wanted it to sound like that, he just wanted to hear his vocals. He didn't really want no ad libs and all that stuff. So. I was like, okay, it makes sense, I guess. He wanted you to hear what he was saying.
Right. So. He wanted you to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because I watched the interview on Netflix. David Letterman has this show on Netflix now.
Oh, yeah.
And he had Barack Obama on his first episode. And I watched my very first. I didn't even watch the very first one. I watched Jay-Z's first.
Right.
And
I thought that was the first one.
And I watched that, and I'm always, I guess, because we only see what the media allows us to see of not just artists, but even celebrities, as far as, actors and actresses.
Right.
So we only see the tabloid stuff or whatever, whatever social media puts us out there, even if it's fake news. But to hear somebody sit down like Jay-Z and talk about, his life, talk about the reality of things, it always shows me how intelligent they really are. 2 Chainz. I couldn't stand 2 Chainz. Could not stand 2 Chainz. I heard him do an interview. Him and Waka Flocka both. Waka Flocka was another one. But I heard them do an interview and them say, I'm doing this so I can get here. And it made me think, J. Cole did his first album. He was true to himself, but he did his album because that's what they asked him to do. Yeah. And when he got a chance, he's doing what he wants to do. Yep. David Banner is another one. Yep, I'm going to give you this Cadillacs on 22s. Right. I'm going to do these beats, this, Rubber Band Man for T.I. I'm going to get, I've had people tell me they don't like him as an artist. They like him as a producer. And that, he makes some hard beats. Don't get me wrong. But I met David Banner in New Orleans, and he stopped everything because Raheem DeVaughn had walked in. and him and Raheem were talking to all of us about basically how they've been blackballed by Sony. Because why? Because they didn't want to do what they wanted them to do. And I've been preaching this since I came into this music scene. Be true to yourself.
Yep. That's right.
You have to be true to yourself. And people can do this stuff independently. You have to believe in yourself, and you got to put some money behind you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? But you have to be true to yourself.
Yep.
So when I heard 2 Chainz and Waka Flocka talk in interviews, and I'm like, these motherfuckers is not dumb like I thought they were.
Nope.
They actually are pretty smart. So that made me look at things a lot differently. Jay-Z, I've known for years that this is a very intelligent man. Anybody in 50 Cent, no matter if you can't stand 50 Cent, you gotta respect his business. and I really wholeheartedly believe that comes from them being out there on the corner, out in the streets.
You learn how to survive and hustle.
They were out there hustling. They got in this business and they learned, wait a minute, it's the same thing. It's all a numbers game. And look at where both of those 2 people are. And that's why when I talk about the little Skittles kids and stuff, that their longevity, how long is their longevity? You see they're dropping like flies anyway. They're killing themselves overdosing on these pills because they're really in their music, like J. Cole said in his music. They're telling the kids that this is what life is.
Right.
This is what rap music is. This is what everything is. And you have to kind of be careful with the messages that you put in your music.
Yep.
Because everybody's taking it more literal now. I went back and listened to what was I listening to? I mean, you go back and listen to Shirley Murdoch back in the day, and listen to the content and what she was saying in her music. Listen to some of the things that they were saying, they were talking about back then, and you're like, that was almost taboo to be talking about that kind of stuff. But now it's just out in the open, and everything's out there. You know, so just like with television and movies as well. But I kid and joke because we were talking about my friend, her mother-in-law's name is Barbara. And we were talking about her commenting on her. She's like, why is my ex-mother-in-law commenting on my page? I said, you got to say, Barbara, this is Shirley. She busted out laughing. But that's goes back to, like I said, longevity as far as music and an artist. What do you think it is about certain artists that gives them the longevity that they have?
It's kind of hard to say now because
well, I'm talking about, like, you know, Nas hasn't dropped anything, and then as you know,
just from past work, just the classics, just his music always is still relevant to this day. You can play a lot of Nas songs that is still pertain to something that's going on right now.
Right.
Just like Tupac, just like Jay, just like all the dudes from the 90s. It still pertains to what's going on out in these streets right now. So
true.
It's just that's what keeps it in there. It's when you make music that can stand through the times. That's what's going to keep you relevant. And soon after a while, nobody's going to be doing Xannies and drinking lean.
Well, that's because the federal government's trying to crack down on that right now.
Yeah,
they're gonna find something else. They're gonna find something else. But
right.
Yeah.
So it'll change again.
I really think that it's going to go from this mumble rap and the whole popping pills era. I think that the lyricist is going to come back and be more prevalent again because people are they're going to get tired of this music. They're slowly doing it now, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, it's like people say when everybody's like, oh, well, y'all still living in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah. Because I like words. I'm not saying that all artists that are out on the radio right now are not good artists, because I don't even really listen to the radio, so I really don't know. It took me a long time to become a Kevin Gates fan. I had to go look at the words.
Right.
I had to go and understand the words. And then when I understood what he was talking about, oh, okay, I'm going to give this guy a listen, see what else he's talking about. You know, to me, it's, you know, what kind of message are you trying to feed people? What are you trying to tell me? Like I said, that's why I made a post earlier about what do you listen for when you listen to music? You know, me personally, I listen to lyrics, and everybody's like both. Some people like the beat, some people are like the words. You know, but you know, well, it has to have a good beat, you know, to go along with the words, and I understand that. But I'm saying, when you're listening to what makes that song great, because too many people are saying, oh yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he goes hard. Does he now? And they're like, yeah, his beats be hard. And I'm like, that's not Tekashi 6ix9ine. That's the producer. Oh yeah, his music's hard, but I really don't know what he's talking about. Well, then his music doesn't go hard. That producer's beat goes hard.
Producers do a lot.
Right. And I don't think producers get enough credit. I really don't.
Not really.
Bangladesh, the one that did the what was it, a Millie beat?
Yep.
And had to end up going, you know, like threaten Lil Wayne to get his money.
Give him my money.
Yeah, so
everybody want to rap, but don't want to pay for no beats.
And Bangladesh, I really don't know producers, but because of that situation, and that beat was hard.
Yeah. And they did a lot of numbers.
Yeah. So he should have got paid.
Yep.
But because of that, I knew what his name was, and a lot of people don't understand that when you hear the beats, it's not the artist, it's the producer. Yep. You know, Street Sky's another one. He makes fantastic. I've heard his beats and be like, wow. I'll hear beats and I just want to go get the instrumental. I don't want to hear the words. Right. You sound dumb on there. I don't want to hear your words no more. Like I said, Yo Gotti. I didn't want to hear I didn't want to hear him rap nothing. Don't rap nothing. Just shut up.
It's like a soundtrack to the words.
Right. So play the song here. This is from the group that you guys have put together.
Okay. Yeah, both of them was. That first one was too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, get two on tonight.
BBK.
Yeah.
And in parentheses it says Ben Big Killin'.
Yeah, that's just one meaning of BBK.
So it's just like with KOD. It could mean a whole lot of things.
Whatever you come up with like, I mean, that's one of them Big Ben Killin', Big Killin'. Then I got another one that came over was Baltimore Born Kings.
Okay.
Something like that, and just keep coming up with stuff. So.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, because BOMB stands for Baltimore on my back, bundles on my block. Like he come up with so many different ones all the time.
That's the two I remember.
I was like, I can't remember all of them. So yeah, we're gonna play this and we're gonna come back.
Okay.
And talk a little bit more.
It's the party one.
Oh, this the anthem.
Okay.
Hey,
and this is Blizz Kid and Mansa Bricks.
Yep. Yeah, he produced the beat. And also he did the hook for the song.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna take a listen and we're gonna come back.
BBK.
Who is this? Who is that? Mansa Bricks. Who is that?
That's Chase Sutton.
Been killing beats, I'm a legend, ho. Hit up movie, get the juice from Mexico. You already know, BBK show. Got your lady throwing all the bras in the baby. We on some Ben killing shit. No evidence and we don't need no witnesses. focused on the money, the business.
You can tell Bliss was feeling himself on this.
I was like, oh yeah. Don't get it twisted, still in the shit. I was on this. Keep them hits like yeah, in the world gon' feel this. About time that we hit you with that realness. We on our way, so clear the way. Paparazzi flashing red carpet, it's BBK. Hey. You already know that paparazzi flashing. You know, do a shout out to that.
Every time somebody does that, every time I hear that line, I'll be like, was that a shot at me?
Black gold, feel it in my soul. They trying to kill me, worth more than gold. Fuck them, some of my fucking gold. Uncensored, unfiltered. Say what I want, blow big blunts. Big high, like X-Game stunts. Big crab cakes when I eat lunch. I'm so emo, don't need detours.
So that sounds good right now.
Now I gotta go home and probably cook something. Anybody cook nothing at the house.
Take no break off the Kit Kat. Leave it too early. I ain't rocking with that. That's why I let these niggas know every time on the track is kid.
Y'all need to put another verse on there.
It is on the album.
Oh, okay. Because I was just like, oh, it can't end right now. That beat, hey, I like that beat.
Yeah. Shouts out to Master Bricks.
Right. Oh, I was like, oh, those on Facebook Live and YouTube heard me say this, but you on the radio. Yeah, Bliss was feeling himself on that beat. I can tell. He come in like, that's like I said, that's one of them beats that you sitting there and be like, oh yeah, and you get all excited and hype about.
Yeah.
You know, because I've done that quite a few times. With, people sent me music, and it'd be like the verse and the hook on there. And I'd be like, yo, I can write to this. No, I can't. Be like, I don't even know how to do this. But I used to be in a band in 5th grade, and then I was in choir 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I know how to read music. I was taught how to read music. I had music class in elementary and middle school, so we were taught the everything, how to write music and everything. That's why I think Mr. Speech was like, you could probably make a beat, Lisa.
Yeah.
I was like,
because if you know the keys and stuff like that on the keyboard, all you're doing is putting the sounds on the keyboard, and you're still playing keys. So
yeah, we I was trying to learn I remember 5th grade, my our music teacher, Mr. Burton. I remember that's crazy that I can remember his name, but he always wore cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. But he was the band teacher, and he taught choir. Did he teach choir too? I think he taught choir too. But they were teaching us the keys on the piano and everything. So that's why I said I was at the Crown Awards one night, and they had the producers battle.
Oh yeah.
And the producer, the beat's going, and then I'm like, how come it ain't dropped yet? It should have dropped. It should have been. And then the dude got mad because they turned it off. He was like, it ain't even dropped yet. We played it for the whole time that we could, So they let him play it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, it should have dropped right there. And Only's like, Lisa even said it should have dropped right there. She don't even do music. But it's because the whole 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4
bars.
Counting
bars.
So, and then for me listening to music all my life, you kind of pick up on it. It's crazy. Childish Gambino has a beat that Black Staff 24/7 did for the song called Work, and it's like my favorite song. Like, it's my favorite so much that I recorded Hayes and Jay Bruno at Vanity Room, and Hayes' verse, I'm like rapping the whole verse. And you can hear me on the recording. He was like, "You rap my whole verse, Lisa." Like, sorry. But, you know, we were together. We were a couple when he made that song. So, of course I knew the verse. So, then I was online, and Swizz from Funk Volume, that used to be Hobson, he put up this video, and it was the same beat. But he took it, he didn't start like when they, like, Jay starts the song out at the beginning, and Swizz waited. So, you know, you could do the same exact beat, but do it totally different. You know? So, on that note, how do you feel about the doing mixtapes upon mixtapes upon mixtapes using industry beats?
It's cool once in a while. Me personally, I think it's cool once in a while. If you got the time to keep putting out mixtapes, then you could put out an album.
There you go. There you go. It's another one of my pet peeves. I think that as an artist, a rapper, whatever, because there are two totally different things. When you're first starting out, because everybody kind of like starts out that way.
Yeah.
They hear a song on the radio and they start rapping their own words to that song.
That's how it works.
And starting out, I think it's cool if you're going to do that, put a mixtape out to try to test the waters.
Yeah.
But if every CD that you put out is industry beats, you can't make any money off these CDs.
Right.
You can't.
You could have put out a project by then. Made something. That's just how I see it.
I mean, and that's how, like I said, that's how I feel about it. You know, couple of them, get your feet wet, get people, you know, vibing with you. You know.
Yeah, it's good for promotion, definitely.
Right.
Right. See, and that's, you know, but I've seen artists do this, and I'm just like, why? Why are you wasting? Why are you wasting your bars?
Yeah.
Why?
There's too many beats out here now. I can say back in the day, because I did waste a lot of songs back in the day, but once again, it wasn't popular back then, so you didn't have producers everywhere. And
right.
You didn't have all these sites like BeatStars and SoundClick and SoundCloud, so you couldn't get beats. So it's understandable back then, but now
it's too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy to find beats. Just leave them alone. Like I said, maybe one or two. If you want to do a mixtape on industry beats, 5 songs maybe like that, but not like when it's like 16 industry beats. It's like, really? It's overkill.
It really is. I mean, because you can't, like I said, you can't, the whole purpose for an artist is to make money. You know, you want to get out there, you want to be able to get out on the, you know, and tour and you know, sell merchandise. Part of merchandise is CDs or streaming. And you can't even put music online to stream because guess what? You don't own the rights to that beat.
Right.
And like you said, now I think it's just so accessible now. Like I said, now you can put your music on all these different sites, these streaming sites. Remember when we couldn't do that?
Right, you couldn't do that at all.
You had to pay a lot of money to get on iTunes. You couldn't post a video on YouTube.
Jeez, yeah, right.
You know, it took too long for one. Because we only had dial up.
Right.
But
for days.
There was no, you know, I think because the internet is so accessible and because artists like yourselves have paved that way for these people that are rapping and all now, it's so easy for them. Like they don't, I'm telling you, if we could take them back in time and say, here, MySpace, 4 songs. That's it.
Right, that's all you get.
Oh, you recorded 5? Oh, you better decide which one's gonna come off of there.
Right. Yep. Gotta take one off.
Which one's not doing that well?
Right.
Which one's not doing that well?
Yeah, that's how I used to always do it. It went right by the numbers.
Yeah, whichever was at the
Then you had then you had. Why am I not in your top 8?
Oh. Yeah. MySpace.
But they like. But they don't know how difficult it was for, you know, the artists that you know, because there's still a lot of artists that are still making music and they're still recording and they're still doing, you know, trying to do their thing. That was back in the black hole, that was back at 5 Seasons, that was, you know, people are still trying to get, because now you can.
Yes.
Jinx, Eva Rhymes is out on tour right now over on the West Coast.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you imagine trying to do that? Her trying to do that 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
How hard that would have been?
Right.
You know, so the accessibility is key factor now. Like you said, it's all in new. A lot of people, it's all in who you know. Now it's all in what you know.
Right.
Yep. The internet is there to help you.
You know, like I remember back when I first came in, and people, I'm like, you don't have your shit copywritten.
Right.
You don't have an ASCAP or a BMI. Right. Who is teaching you? Yeah. When I know this, and I don't do music.
Exactly.
I study business. It's all business. You're a commodity. You have to market and advertise yourself. You know, and it's so much easier to do that now.
That's how I get my tax money back. BMI and all that music. That's all BMI. But ask one question. BMI, they say, oh, so you got royalty checks. Cool. So what is all the stuff that you spent doing music this year? Then you can write it off. That's all. And I wrote it all off.
I was like, yeah, right. What did I spend it on?
Mileage, CD, shirts. Everything.
The list goes on.
Admission fee, and audition fees. And
if I had to buy a new microphone, equipment, anything, yeah.
And people gotta get with it. You gotta get with it. Stop putting out free stuff. Get that money back.
You know, how do you feel about somebody who, well, let me do it this way. I'm the type of person that I help anybody do whatever they need to, you know. Somebody needs some, you know, somebody says, well, Lisa, do you know a videographer? Do you know a studio? Do you know? Yeah, I know all that. I'm a director. I direct people.
Right.
I get upset when I'm going harder than the artist.
Yeah.
Or it's just a hobby to them.
Yeah.
Let me know it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
Because I could be helping somebody else who's taking this seriously.
Put that energy somewhere else.
You know, how do you know, do you feel any kind of way like people who just like waste your time, like kind of like, I mean, especially when you like, it's always the artists who are like really super awesome, like you're like, oh my god, you're so like, yeah, that song was so good. But like, no, well, you know, I'm like, are you going to be performing or anything? Man, no, I'm not. It's just a hobby to me. And I'm like, you got the talent, like.
You need help them as far as they can go. But after a while, you gotta just let them do their own thing, and maybe one day they'll pick it up and be great like they could be, or they just ain't never want to do it in the first place. But I know I wasted some times way back. That's because that's all I was about. I'm still like that, but I just had to know I had to learn to know who to work with, and I gotta keep them where they at. That was my biggest problem. I was trying to help everybody, even people that was lagging behind. I'm still trying to help them, but it slowed me up in the process. So I just had to learn how to separate who I should spend my most time with, working with, and who I should just.
I think it's a learning process. I mean, like I said, I've had to learn a lot of things over the years. People like, even now, people are like, Lisa, you're everywhere. Oh, no, I'm not. Not anymore. Where am I at? Wisdom Court events. You know, somebody hit. I was just at Comp's thing at the 2 o'clock club because it was Comp. You know, I really don't be going out because people have taken my kindness for weakness, and they've tried to take advantage of the situation. You know, it's pretty bad when people say, "Hey, Lisa, where's your camera?
It's not, hey.
How you doing? How you been?
Right.
Glad you're here."
Right.
Nothing. I just went and covered the new breed for pit fights. I ain't been there in over a year.
Right.
And you would have thought that I had dropped off the face of the earth and came back. Everybody was just like hugging me and everything. And it was so funny because Savage sat down after he came over and hugged me and everything. And I went and sat down. I had sit down this little stool in my camera bag, and my camera was sitting on the table.
Right.
So Savage sat down on the stool next to the table. He said, "So, are you here working?" And I just looked over at the camera. He was like, "Yes." Everybody was just so happy to see me come back and take pictures. I came back because my brother asked me to come months ago, but I finally showed up last Sunday and took 2,320 pictures, which is entirely too many goddamn pictures. Facebook temporarily blocked me from posting any pictures. I haven't even put all of them up. I still got 2 more albums to go. There's 195 in each album.
That thing is a trip. Facebook.
I think we're going to end up having another social media platform show up before too long.
Yeah.
Because of all the trouble that Facebook has come into and all the things that Facebook is trying to do to us.
Yeah.
How is it that I can't post all my pictures on my page? It's my page.
Right.
I built the page. Why can't I put my pictures on my page? So, and that's exactly what the hell I told them the 4 or 5 times that I gave them feedback. I said, but you allow people to spam my messages or my posts with TV and movie links.
New movie.
And then I have to go and block them because I can't report them for spam.
Facebook don't want you to be great.
Not at all. I'm getting ready to go back to MySpace. I recovered 2 of my pages from MySpace.
Yeah, I recovered my music page.
Yeah. I haven't been on it in a while, but I did recover.
It's different too. It looks different.
Oh, it's geared for music.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's. So I'm waiting for everybody to start going back to MySpace. Yeah. You know, people were like, "Why did we ever leave MySpace?" Tom was always good to us.
As soon as Facebook was like, "You don't need a college ID," it was a rap after that.
You know what? I had a Facebook page, but I didn't do anything with it. I stayed with MySpace I thugged it out as long as I could. But everybody was on Facebook.
Yep. That's why they eventually had to take it away and make it public. Because before, I remember when I was working at Cotton State, you had to have an ID just to log into Facebook.
Now you have to have an ID just to be able to have a page because you know when they made people change their names from their rap names, I didn't know who anybody was anymore because I didn't know the real names. I didn't know their real names, and then I'm like looking like, who the hell is this? Yep. And I be like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's me all day. I got my whole government.
Right, because I'll be like, what is kid's name? What is his name? You know, I'll be like, oh my gosh. Then I would have to go back to a post that Blizz had made or something, or somebody had made that tagged you, and I was like, oh, okay. That's it. Yep. This is government name. And then on IG, I was like, oh, what the hell is the name? Oh my God. I'm so bad at that. Yeah. Like, I can't remember people's IG names. I guess I can't remember people's names to begin with. Like I said, but I'm waiting for the new social. There's going to be another social media platform that's going to come out because of everything that's happening with Facebook. Did you all know that Facebook and IG is owned by the same? They're owned by the same company. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Or something like that.
I didn't know that until all this stuff happened. And somebody was like, "I'm going to IG," And everybody's like, Facebook owns them.
Yep, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to go back to MySpace and check it out because I just I don't even remember it. That was my thing. I took pictures of everybody on that stage. I had no idea who the hell they were. I just took pictures of everybody because I figured everybody deserved to have that shine.
Yeah.
And that's just been my whole thing. That's why I don't find competition in other photographers. Like, I'm not a person of competition anyway. But I don't think that I'm in competition of anybody else because they don't do the same things that I do.
Right. They take pictures of who
like, I've seen photographers be at shows and I'm standing up front the whole night. They over here and they doing this and they taking pictures. And then when they post pictures up, they post like 10 pictures.
Right.
To my 5, 6, 7, 800 pictures. Okay, cool. I'm not in competition. You know, that's just never, you know, have you felt like somebody has tried to put you in competition of another artist? Like, have you ever had somebody, you know?
Nah.
You know, I don't think that people do that with men. They do it with the female artists though.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Why do you think why do you think that is though?
I don't know. One day we'll get over this whole it's only one room for one female. We'll get that out of our head one day, but I don't understand.
You know, and it's and it's not just on a local level, it's on the industry level.
Yeah, it's just all levels. It can only be one, and I don't get that. That doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't know when that happened because when MC Light and Queen Latifah, you know, were out, it was no competition between them two.
Right.
You know, so when Lil' Kim, you know, Lil' Kim had to be the queen bee, and you know, you got to choose between Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I like both of them. Like, you know, now with the whole Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, why?
Yeah.
I don't like either one of them. Like, you know, and their music is just not to listen to.
Yeah.
You know,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Cardi B she's funny, and she says what she wants, and she's like a female version of Donald Trump without the racism. She says what the fuck she wants, and she don't care. She's unapologetic, and I think that's a very good attitude to have, especially being in the spotlight like she is, and not really following. She doesn't want to follow these dumbass rules. But as far as if I gotta, you know, why I gotta choose between her and Nicki Minaj, or why I gotta choose between Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim, why do I have to? Why can't I just like both or whatever? The music scene, the underground music scene was the same way for a long time too. But now I couldn't tell you what female artists there are. I can't. I don't see them.
Right.
When I go to shows, I don't see them. And then I'm just like, you know, Queen Fee was here last week, and she was telling me about, you know, she's seen females while she's performing, and they're sitting there and they're cackling like hens, and she's like, I know they're talking about me because of whatever has transpired between them previously or whatever the case may be. And I you know, when she was telling me this, I know that she's talking from experience because I've seen it. I watch people constantly. What kills me is this. You have Cindy Lou here. I use weird names. Cindy Lou and Betty Boo. They cohorts. They talk about everybody around them. Now, they sat there and they just talked about little Debbie over here. Well, then next thing you know, Cindy Lou and Debbie are tight as thieves, and Betty Boo is left off to the side. They constantly stabbing each other in the back, talking about each other. They smile and grin up in each other's face. They tell each other's business. Because trust me, I heard some shit about a month ago that I was like, this can't be real. This is some on the block kind of shit that I'm hearing. that these females are out here doing, because females already have the bad reputation in this music scene. I know both of you guys have heard the stuff, even if you do keep to yourselves. Somebody's gonna come to you and talk about how she was doing this and she's done slept with him and this one and that one, this one and that one, this one and that one. Females already have, and then you have the females that come along, they're here doing music. And it's assumed that they're doing the same thing that these 5 over here have done.
Right.
I don't get it, because nobody says anything about these 5 dudes over here who've done smashed every chick they could. You know, they don't. It's not the same stereotype.
Yeah.
And it makes me mad that it always has to be that one female, and I'm confused at why. Because we don't do it to you guys.
Right.
You know?
That is fair.
You know, we don't do it to you guys. Like, it's not like, oh, well,
It's only room for one.
There's only room for one. We can only have one top dog. Da-da-da. Why? Well, then who's it going to be?
Right.
Damon Blue? Is it going to be Damon? You know, that's why when they say we have to find one person to get behind and push. Why? Why can't we push everybody?
Right.
Get behind the city as a whole.
Right. Instead of one person. You know, everybody wants to try to compare us to Atlanta. When Atlanta was popping, and they was not just pushing one person, because look how many people came out.
Everybody.
They came out with force.
Yeah.
Man, it was like Jeezy, Luda, you know, it was just like boom. It was like they were shooting off fireworks. So that's why I'm not understanding like the whole female aspect of it, and you know there can only be one female. I'm not understanding. I can't even tell you any of the female artists. Queen Fiend, she's the only one that I know of that's still out here doing stuff. Why? Because I follow her on Instagram and Facebook. I see her post up.
She stayed busy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The rest of them, I don't know what happened to them. You know, some of them are still performing. It's just because I guess we're not friends on social media. But every once in a while, I'll see certain names that are performing or whatever. I'll be like, oh, I didn't know she was still rapping. But I do that with dudes too. Be like, oh, I didn't even know he was still doing music. I ain't seen his name in a long time.
Right.
You know, so it always confuses me. It always confuses me when it says Jay McGraw joined.
Well,
When it don't tell me a time though.
I know why. We ain't say nothing bad.
I did. Go back and watch it. Nah, Jay's that's my buddy right there. Anybody who can introduce me to his wife as his second wife. I was like, whoa. Yeah, he introduced me to Nay as, oh, this is my second wife.
oh yeah, that was bad. That was crazy.
It was the 5 seasons.
Wow. Okay.
I remember that.
I was like, no, I'm not. She was just laughing. I was like, don't laugh at him. Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him. No. I said, I don't know how. White woman charged after arguing with black service members over parking spot.
Yeah, she was trying to swing on the pregnant soldier lady.
That's crazy.
That was that story?
Yeah.
Somebody should have knocked that old ass out.
Yep.
Somebody should have knocked her old ass out. I'm just saying. For one, the lady was pregnant. Sorry, y'all. I'm just Facebook caught my eye. I had to refresh.
That's how I do. You see one thing and it's just like
I'll go on IG to post something and then I get scrolling. I'll be like, what the hell was I supposed to be doing?
I do that all the time.
Oh, social media is a devil.
Yeah.
Then now you can look at stories and all that. It's crazy.
Let me tell
I'm
you.
trying to post his stuff sometimes, and that's what happened. I done went all the way down, and then I turn it off and forget all about reposting. I'm like,
It's just like Bobby Boucher. Social media is the devil. I'm telling you. Because I'll be on here, I'll be like, I deactivated my page for like 3 weeks. The only reason why I reactivated my page was so I could go on live for Hard Body Radio. That's the only reason. And then as soon as my show was over, I deactivated my page again. I needed that break. I still on my IG, but I needed that break from Facebook. It was just getting too much for me. Like I have friends on here that I really want to delete, but I know if I delete them, I'm gonna hear crybaby shit. And I'm like, you don't interact with me. Right. Like, why are you on my page? That's why every once in a while you'll see me post up. Why are you here? Explain to me why you're on my page. Right. I need to know.
Why did we become friends?
I need to know. And then like, I had to make a post for the new breed and been like, do not add me. Go like my Baltimore Paparazzi page. Y'all don't need to be on my page. Because I hurt feelings sometimes. I don't mean to, but it's just, it happens. Because people are so sensitive sometimes. Yeah. I'm sensitive at times. So,
I had to chill out on my posting on Facebook because I used to write shits with feathers a lot. And I'd be all day long, my notifications going off everywhere. Bing, 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 bing.
I turn my shit off. I don't get my notifications. My Facebook thing tells me how many notifications I have, but they don't come to my phone.
Come to the phone.
I turn that bitches off. Just like I don't. If somebody sends me a inbox message, it pops up, but I don't hear no sound. I don't no chat hit comes up. I turn all that shit off. Don't talk to me. Do not talk to me.
Yeah, I had to let it go. Because it was getting crazy. But it's funny how the algorithm is.
And it's crazy when you post stuff like that. And then you get more attention from that than when you post about your music.
Right. And you know, and I noticed that too. I posted, what was it? I think I had dyed my hair and I had posted a picture. And I got like so many likes on the picture and everything else. But when I post something meaningful up,
nothing.
Crickets.
Anytime I post something going on in the world, it's all day blow up, and I'll be like, yeah, I got this show today.
right.
So, I'm like, yeah, I just answered the last post, so I know y'all see it.
And you post something, man, I'm down with music, I quit. Yeah, all these.
Right.
Oh, wow, you're so good.
Right. Another album, why you gonna quit?
Right.
Because you ain't gonna buy it when I do the album, damn it.
Exactly.
Can I at least get you to stream the shit a couple times, something?
Right.
Can you share it?
Yeah.
Can you share it? Can you talk about it? Can you do something? You don't want me to quit, but now, like, when it comes down to it, boom.
Yeah, I dropped a little project. I think I did, 5 or 6 songs on there, and that's exactly why I did it. Because everybody, why you gonna stop rapping? I said, okay, I got you. Put something out. Same responses always. Said, that's why.
Right.
That's why.
I was like, I've gotten to the point, like I said, I was seeing the different comments and different statuses about J. Cole's project. And I was like, I'm not even going to get engaged in this bull, because guess what? I'm the type of person that I agree to disagree. That's me. I agree to disagree. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going to try and make you, there's certain things that I don't talk about. I don't talk about religion. I don't talk about politics, because I'm not here to change your mind, and you're not here to change my mind. I'm here to give you my opinion, and you're here to give me yours. So I'll hear what you say. I'll let it soak in. Maybe I'll see where you're coming from. Maybe I won't. But I'm not going to sit here and continue to argue back and forth about something that goes on or whatever. Right. And that's all people were doing.
Yeah. It goes for days. 2 days in, people still commenting on stuff.
They were like, oh, it's this, it's that, this depressing. If you are listening to it from that standpoint, then yes, it's going to be depressing. Yeah. It is depressing to think that everything that he's talking about is the truth. It's how things are going right now. Yeah. Yes, it's depressing. But at the same aspect, it's enlightening because he's speaking on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas who else is speaking on it musically?
Right.
People are talking about it, but musically, is anybody talking about it? Did you see the video for ATM?
Yo, I love that video.
Yeah, I seen that.
I love that video.
That was crazy.
Everybody was like, it reminded me of Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
It sure does.
Yep.
Somebody's like, oh, he's rapping like 1995. Guess what? That's what he meant to do.
That video was real creative.
And that's how they be rapping now, though. That's how the hooks is. It's just repetitive hooks.
Right.
That's how his whole album was. He flipped their style of music.
Right.
Actually said something.
Right.
So.
And that was my, like, I'm reading all these comments and I'm just like, I'm just shaking my head because I'm like, it's like you can't see the forest because the trees are in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he is giving you the message. He's letting you know that this is the reason why he's doing this.
Right.
He tells you in his words. And then I seen when I was looking up the stories online.
Oh, this guy since the haircut, you feel me?
That's right.
What's this guy? What's up, bro?
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
How you doing? I'm ready. Purple. You got the cut.
That's my work husband right there. That's my work husband.
Married to this hard body
I was talking about J. Cole's project.
Oh, that was whole. Rough for the few fellas there, ain't it?
I
that guy's trying to bring back some substance.
I've seen, like I said, I was saying a lot of people talking about how, oh, it's depressing. There's no feel good music on there. It's not supposed to be feel good music on there. This is his way. It's a concept.
So kind of mocking him a little bit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Kind of mocking, like, I can be that sin.
Mocking him a little bit. Mocking him a little bit. He was blatant with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He was blatant. And I was loving every minute of it.
And the kids fucking riding fucking magical fucking.
Oh, that girl was crazy.
I didn't even watch the whole thing. I just
apparently.
I'm like, oh my god, I gotta wait till the home. I roll a blunt up to watch this shit.
Yeah, watch that joint on the
TV.
Apparently, Little Pump was upset that he dissed him or whatever. Well, he in the song he clearly says that he's answering what you said about him. Like,
I'm watching it out ASAP.
Yeah.
The project, I love it. Look, 12:03. My phone, it was playing 12:03. It was that serious for me.
Wait for that.
Yes, I was. I listened to it from beginning to end.
And then I came back.
I listened to it in the car.
Right.
Yes, I did. I listened to it in the car yesterday while I was driving. I sure did. Windows down, it was blaring. People looking at me funny. Yeah.
What's up, Blizz? They got the trucks going on, huh?
Yeah.
The trucks cut going on. What's the sand on us real quick?
I'm trying to be like, you cut that, I'm growing that,
He trying to be GQ now. He trying to be GQ now.
Yeah, Ebony Man in the mud, man. Ebony Man in the mud.
Yeah, trying to see your site.
I'm not trying, bro. Learn some of the best, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right, guys, I'm in.
All right, bro.
He cut his hair. I thought he was kidding. Because, people always say that they cutting their hair and then they really don't.
Yeah.
Right. They showed a picture of the dreads sitting there and they really didn't cut their hair.
I know, right?
Yo, the next day I'm scrolling through Instagram. This picture comes up and I'm like, whoa, hold up. Who is this? I look back, I said, it's 3D. God damn it.
It's funny. I'm like, everybody cutting their hair and they haven't grown mine. I cut mine.
He was growing his for, oh my God, like 14 years or something.
Sheesh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he went like for a long time. I forget how long he said. But yeah. Like I always like to get, like, as an artist, I asked, the reason why I asked about like the J. Cole and the Jay-Z and the whatnot is because as an artist, you are listening to, even as a producer, you're listening to things with a different ear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and my thing is that I'm listening as a fan and a supporter of music, but also I've been around artists, so I also hear different things as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to, like, I ask people, you know, what are their thoughts on you know, projects or whatever, because I know that you're listening from a different standpoint than the fan.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like one of the guys, he's a fan of music. He doesn't do music, and that's why he was like, it's depressing. It's no feel good music, and I'm like, but there's a concept, and I just wanted to write on there, but it's a concept album. Do you know what a concept album is? It follows along with the concept.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what a concept album is
because they're so used to songs and like projects just being songs.
Yeah, just all over the place. And
you know, I had an ex that we used to make mixed music CDs, and that's when I was doing ringtones. I used to be a ringtone lady up on Poplar Grove. So he was making like, and what he would do is he had a concept, like all the song titles would tell a story. You know, that was the way he did it. He, you know, so from him doing that, you know, that was before I was even in this music scene.
yeah.
You know, so I was already dealing with music. Even, well, I was seeing a guy that he was an R&B artist before I was even in the music scene, and he's part of an R&B group here in Baltimore. And so, like I said, music's always been around me. So from him with the R&B music to, you know, my ex with the, well, I got to make this, got to make a story. It's got to tell a story. The titles of the songs got to make a story. And I'm like, why they got to make a story? Why can't you just listen to songs on there that kind of go together? Like, I'm not understanding. And,
Play out.
you know, it's a concept.
Yep.
So when I see somebody who's got an album and the songs kind of follow almost like in a book, you know, and I'm just like, I get so happy because this tells me that that artist knows. They know.
Oh yeah. I get fun. That's the funnest part. One of the funnest parts about album work to me is putting together a track list.
Right. It's also a pain in the ass too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're like, I don't want to put no more track, but this song's got to go on. I don't want to take any of the songs off, but this song's got to go on.
Yeah.
And then you end up with like 16, 17, 18.
Yep, that's how it works.
Yeah, I know.
Charm City
Bonus
project,
tracks.
I did that. I did that on that Charm City project. I probably took 2 weeks to get that track list together, and it was days of I'm gonna put this on here, take this one off. But I'm gonna put this one on here, taking this off until it finally lined up perfect.
In the spotlight, volume 1 had 26 tracks, 20 some tracks on it, because I took 2 songs from each artist that sent me music, and put them on there, you know, so it was, you know, they had 2 songs on it. I said, I'm not doing this shit no more. So my next one didn't have that many on there. I actually have to get the new ones finished so I can put them out. What I do is everybody that comes here, I put them on this, put them on the mixtape series that I have, and then I upload it. I haven't done anything. I have about probably like 3 CDs to do now.
You gotta catch up.
Yeah, I do, and it's.
I still gotta do part 2 of Charm City. Yeah.
But you know.
Everybody in DC got that.
So are you from because you live down in DC now? Are you from here?
Yeah, I'm from here, Northeast Baltimore.
Oh.
Bel Air Road, Bel Air Urban.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I did most of my growing up.
Most of your growing up and running around.
Yep. Bel Air Edison. Good old Bel Air Road.
Me and Blizz was neighbors for a while.
Yeah, Waverly.
Yep. Now I'm up on Harwood, which is right there near Woodburn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to move. I was ready to move the week after I moved into my house.
Oh, man.
It's not even the area now. It is because my car got shot, but but it's much more like my landlord. But I'm trying to go further up north. So, but yeah. So I guess tell everybody where they can find you, find your music. Make sure they stream. Tell them stream the damn music,
Yeah,
download the music, buy it.
Stream, Queen, what's happening right now? It's on iTunes, Google Play, and a couple other things right now. I just uploaded it yesterday, so
Okay.
it's slowly coming on everything else. But I just got emails for iTunes and Google Play right now. Rhythm and Sound Records on almost everything. Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, because I was like, when that popped up, I was like, who is this? Well, see, my IG page, my Lisa127 page is open because my friend, I took my friend off my page. I blocked him and then unblocked him. And my page is private. And he was like, oh, you blocked me from your page. I can't see what... I was like, well, go and follow me again and you can see what's on my page. And he refuses because I took him off my page. You know? So I was like, all right, well, I'll open up my page. And then people keep adding me. And I'm like... So every once in a while I'll go through and I'll just take them out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're not really there for any reason but just trying to get their followers up.
Yep.
So I seen the Rhythm and Sound. I was like, who is this? So I clicked on it. I was like, oh, okay. I got you.
That's my little project. Little label, record label, group, affiliates. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't have nobody signed or anything. It's
Right.
Just,
It's like family.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is right now. It's just family right now. Like I
Right.
said,
So under like kind of a, not to take anything away from Tay to G in them, but like an umbrella.
Yeah, you can say that.
Because you know they got the thing called the umbrella now.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to call them when I went to go tag them. They were performing at Comp Show, and they performed, and I thanked them because they were performing in the middle. You know where the strippers perform, but there's no strippers anymore because Tony Austin turned it into Austin's Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they were performing right there. Well, it was a group with two guys. And their fans and everybody were over on that side. I'm on this side because I was sitting down. I was like, I'm taking pictures, click. And I've got barely any pictures of their faces because they were facing that way. It was like, to hell with everybody that was on this side of the bar. So when Tay and them got done, I went over there and I was like, thank you all for giving us face time, okay? Because yeah. So, but they, I mean, is that something that's going on now? Is like people are trying to like group together, have like it's almost like cliques again.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of cliquish, but I mean, I don't know. It is kind of cliquish now. I just do it because these people I've been working with forever.
Right.
So any information I'm learning, that's who I want to share it with. So
right.
Eventually, one day I'll make it a label. I mean, it's official. Like State of Maryland, it's a label, but
right.
I don't have anybody signed right now.
But you have it, so it's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So when that time comes, when maybe I'll find a young guy that
you want to like mentor and kind of put under your wing. I thought that was Singleton almost.
Oh, yep.
I was like, what's she doing here? She's supposed to be going to DC, isn't she?
Yeah, but that's how it is kind of now. Because I mean, everybody wants to see how big your movement is and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's something I could never really get with. When I first came on the scene, and I was, because Bomb is the one who brought me in. It was because of him that I knew who everybody else was. So, everybody's like, oh, she's a part of MIB, and not technically I wasn't. But when I became the Baltimore Paparazzi, I am the Baltimore Paparazzi. Right. I'm part of Hard Body Radio, but I am the Baltimore Paparazzi. So I was, you know, with Wisdom Court, but I'm still the Baltimore Paparazzi.
Right.
I always maintain that I am my own entity. Mm-hmm. I'm not, and I don't like. I hated to see people hop from one crew to another crew because they thought that they could gain something.
Right.
And when they didn't gain what they wanted to, they seen somebody else, and they thought that they could gain something with them. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's why when I talked to Blizz, and he was like, you know, he just felt like it was time that, you know, basically he had learned and done everything he could with the situation that he was in. It was time to move on.
Yep.
You know, so that's understandable.
Right.
But I've watched these people go from this crew to this crew to this crew, and that's not me. I want to be able to work with who I want to work with. That's like, you know, and that's a problem when you get with these little cliques. Whatever beef they have, you have.
Right.
Yeah, I heard a lot of those.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if
Can't be cool with this person, that person.
you know, it like
Crazy.
with me personally, there's certain people that I don't like, I don't care for. But if you choose to be friends with them, that's you.
Right.
Only thing I ask is don't bring my name up, or if they bring my name up, say I'm not talking about her.
Right.
That's something that a lot of people can't seem to do, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping nobody from making money, and I'm not stopping anybody from making moves. I've been given that power that I could, and I turned it down. I had a promoter say, "Well, I haven't paid them yet. What do you want me to do?" Just saying, I haven't paid them yet.
Right.
And I was like, no, I'm not going. I'm not. Pay them their money. They did the show. Pay them their money. And he was like, you sure? I was like, yes. And this was a big show. This was at Ram's Head.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I've had that power be handed to me to where I'd be like, no, fuck them.
Right.
But that's not right. Because my issue was with somebody that wasn't a part of them. It was just that they were there. This has nothing to do with them as that one person. A lot of people can't separate that. You know what I mean? Like, that would be like Blizzard. Like, if Blizz had a problem with, I'm trying to think who. Like, if you had a problem with 3D. Something happened between you and 3D, and you don't, you know, you got into an argument or whatever, and I don't fuck with him,
Right.
That's between y'all. I'm not going to be disrespectful and talk about you to him, and I don't want him talking to me about you.
Right.
You know, what? That's just how I am. And then in this underground scene, it's like high school. Sometimes it's like middle school.
It is just like high school.
Sometimes it's you know.
Popular kids.
Yeah, you can't come in this section.
Yeah, you ain't popular enough.
Can't come over here.
Be like, I don't want to come over there no way.
Right.
I'm in the same position I was in high school. I don't want to hang with y'all anyway.
Right. And so,
I'm right here.
you know, so it's that whole thing of, like I said, I sit back and I watch people. And I tell anybody who's kind of new in the scene, that's what they need to do, is they need to watch. That's all they gotta do. Be mindful. If somebody tells you that so-and-so is bad business, you don't have to take their word, but be mindful. Keep your eyes open and pay attention. Maybe they did bad business with this person because they did bad business. You know, who knows? But if that one time that they do bad business, or you see them doing bad business with you, then you know, wait a minute, hold up.
This is what they was talking
If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's sure not a guinea pig. So, you know, but you guys know that because you've been in this scene, you've watched it, you've seen it, you've been a part of it. You know, so, but this scene, I don't know where it's at right now. I really don't.
It's tossing right now.
You know, people have said that, oh, it's thriving. And I'm like, how? How is it thriving? Because I'm not seeing the new kids being able to do shows because there's not that many shows. And the shows that I have seen besides Wisdom Court shows, it really is like nobody is in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I told Comp, I said, do I have to bring back my show? Do I have to do my show? Because I do things totally different than what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I make people sell tickets.
Right.
Yes.
I make them sell tickets. And they get paid off those tickets.
Mm-hmm.
If you got somebody selling tickets, guess what? People are more likely going to come to the show because they done bought a ticket.
Exactly.
If I make you pay $50 to perform, who you bringing with you when you perform? Bring you, maybe your homeboy who's going to be on stage with you,
Right.
maybe a couple other people.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's how it is. It goes. It's a lot of things. People don't show support. They don't come out to nothing. They said they want to see you winning before they want to come out to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And how am I going to win if you're not supporting me to begin with?
Yeah.
I mean,
People don't understand that.
Blizzard, my shows at 5 Seasons,
Mm-hmm.
they were nice sized crowds.
Yeah.
Always. And it had nothing to do with me. People were like, oh, the promoter's supposed to bring the... How am I supposed to bring... I can't get people to come to my birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to get people...
Can't even get them to come out for free.
Yeah.
You know,
Crazy.
so, you know, I don't know exactly where the scene is going. I'm hoping that we can get some more venues, that are
Mm-hmm.
really good venues.
Yeah.
That, you know, and we can get some good people who are throwing shows and not trying to line their pockets with money all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I say, paying rent, they working it like it's a 9 to 5. They not really caring about the product that they putting out.
Right.
You know, people are like, well, if they would get get artists that people really want to see. My show wasn't about people about that. My show was giving people a platform to be able to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Because people wanted to perform. Okay, well, here's these 15 tickets. You keep $75. You give me $75.
Can't beat that.
We splitting it down the middle because why? Because I'm giving you a place to perform and paying my staff,
Mm-hmm.
and you are bringing the people.
Exactly.
So we both working. So you should get paid.
Yep.
That's my thought process.
Mhm.
I'm just saying. I don't know anybody else's thought process on that, but that's mine. And now, like, there's you know, even how Hugger used to do his Loud Boys shows. He would get them to give, what was it? You give him $100, he gives you 50 tickets.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can make $500
Right.
if you sell your tickets, 50 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You've made $400
Mm-hmm.
because you paid $100 to do the show.
Exactly.
Yep. Or you just sell 10 to make your money.
Right.
Sell people and,
Right.
either way, you getting something back.
Right. So, you know, this, I don't know. I really hope that this scene kind of gets back to where it, actually not back to where it was, but even better.
Yeah.
Like I said, these new kids really are not, they're getting fame off of social media and their videos, and then they're being, you know, booked to perform, but they're not really performing.
Mm-hmm.
They're jumping around,
Yeah.
and they're not rapping.
Playing the track.
Right. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, we got sidetracked on that. But yeah. So again, Instagram.
Instagram, getting money since the 90s. That's what
Right.
it is on Instagram.
Right.
And it's Rhythm and Sound on Twitter and Facebook.
Okay.
Yep. Rhythm
All
and
right.
Sound.
All right. You guys, you got anything coming? Like any kind of performances, or anything coming up, or not really, not yet, or?
Not yet. We kind of wrapped them all up last week and this week. All the shows we had. Like I said, we was in Milton, PA, up in the mountains.
Yeah, some of the Wisdom Court for that.
And
That 2.5 hour drive is no freaking joke.
That was
How long was yours? Like what?
3.
Well,
to get up there was 4 because of the time we left. It was rush hour. But
that
coming
was
home
crazy.
was 3 hours.
Coming home was smooth, but getting up there was like,
just a long, dark ride.
Them hills.
I told him, I said I went up there. I went up there with Steve, but Steve was in somebody else's car. We had Steve's truck.
Yeah.
China was driving. It was me, Biggs, and it was a couple other people, and with us, right? We get up there for an hour. Biggs said, "I'm ready to go." So we drove 2.5 hours up to stay an hour.
Right. That's why I didn't leave. I was like, I'm gonna stay up there for a little bit.
Then the next time,
shoot some pool or something.
Then the next time, I think we got up there late because Steve, he's late, but he don't never bluff.
Yeah, that's what Steve was with me last time. Yeah. Billy Lyle was like, make sure he there with you at a certain time. He was like, last time he came up there at the end of the show.
We finally got up there. Yeah. I stood outside. I tried to take a couple pictures of people, and I stood outside with Black staff talking to them. Took pictures of them outside. But yeah.
He's like, if he ain't at a certain time, just leave. And Steve rode with me. He might have miles.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That felt weird.
Oh, that Steve was in your passenger seat?
Yeah. Because it used to be him always driving.
That's like the time that I remember a couple times. Liz be like, Miss Lisa, can I get a ride home? Yeah. Then the night that I had to ask.
That's why I used to be scared to ask for a ride. I'd be like,
see, that's me. I don't like asking for rides.
Yeah.
Look, that night I had to ask Bliss for rides. Rafferty got his new car.
I was happy.
I was like, Bliss.
Sure.
Yeah. That was what, Scar Akbar's? That was Scar Akbar's thing.
Akbar's,
yeah, because you open up the CD and pop it right on in. Yep. Yep. Well, I thank you guys for coming in and talking and
thanks for having us.
Yes, definitely an honor.
But who I got next week? Shit. Next week. Oh, it's I'm not even going to go to Cashido Suave something. Pennsylvania artist.
Okay.
Pennsylvania artist.
Shouts out to PA.
Yes, and then I got. Oh yeah. I think I told somebody the 19th, but I'm not real sure. May 19th. I don't know. I might do something different. I don't know on that day. But I got Linwood the following Saturday.
That should be interesting.
It should be interesting because I'll be interviewing DZ and Steve right before that.
Oh. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah. G Hood on the 12th. I don't know who he's bringing. Yeah. And then I got the 26th. I got Pennsylvania coming back down here on the 26th. And then I have Jay Bruno on the 2nd of June.
Okay.
Yeah, I stay booked up. But I had a ball.
Yeah, that was
good.
So I thank everybody for tuning in on Hard Body Radio Facebook Live and YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, Baltimore Paparazzi. Hard Body Radio in the spotlight. Your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. I'm trying to find a song to go out with. I think I might just go ahead and do the Dirt Road and Comp song. I think so. So y'all tune in next week. 6 to 8. I had to stop and think. The following Saturday will be earlier time. I think it's 5:30. No, I think it's it might be 5:30 to 6:30. I think he wants to be interviewed. I don't know. So Steve does what the hell ever he wants to do. So thank you all for tuning in. Y'all be safe. See y'all next Saturday. Don't you lock up.
Niggas way past that looking bummy
locked
shit.
Up,
you feel me? Always I'm sounding like trying to take something. No, I'm talking about niggas really trapping in that real shit. 7 G's in 7 days.
Right, go off.
You did.
You gotta go to the bathroom?
You feel
Straight back.
I'm about to leave.
Motherfucker, G's
There's 2 bathrooms back there. Yeah.
Oh, right. Two doors,
Yeah. Sorry about that. The program locked up.
Yeah, that's like a perfect spot for people go by, ride by. Like, who that?
You feel me? The track outfit you did.